Hello everyone, and welcome to another video of the channel DoopTube. And today I'll be doing my death predictions for The Walking Dead Season 10. And now before I get started, I just want to give away a big spoiler alert. If you're not up to date with The Walking Dead show or comics, stop watching right now, as I don't ruin anything for you. But for all clear, let's get started. Let's begin with the Alexandria, starting off with Michonne. Well, Michonne, this is a kind of a tough one. We know that Danai Gurira will be leaving The Walking Dead after Season 10. And that means that she will leave the show in some way. And I don't think that she will be killed off. I think that she will leave the show by going on a boat to find Rick. And someone will go with her. That's for sure. I know that. We saw it in the trailer. In the trailer you see a shot of two people sitting on a boat. And those people are Michonne and some other guy, which I tell about you later. If you have watched my previous videos, then you already know who that guy is. However, I believe that Michonne will survive Season 9, However, I believe that Michonne will survive Season 10 by leaving on a boat to find Rick. And so I'm giving her a blue color, which means that she will leave the show but not die. Then we have Judith and RJ. I'm gonna talk about them both, and why is that? Well, because Michonne is leaving this season, and I believe that she will leave on a boat to find Rick. And I don't think that she is taking her kids with her. I believe that they will stay in Alexandria to survive there, maybe with Daryl or Carol as their new mother and father or guardian, whatever. But I believe that they will stay on the show. I don't think that they will move to the movies like Rick will and maybe Michonne will. So I believe that both Judith and RJ will survive Season 10 and will stay on the show and not leave the show like Michonne will. Then we got Daryl. Well, Daryl is definitely gonna be the last man standing. So that's just pretty obvious to me. Daryl is gonna live. Then we have his buddy Doc. Well, I believe that Doc may die somewhere in the future to develop Daryl a little bit. But I don't think that's gonna happen right now. I believe it's a little bit too early. Maybe somewhere around season 11 or 12 this will happen. But for now, I believe that Doc is safe. Then we have Carol. Well, as I said in some previous videos, I always had the feeling that Carol is gonna die. I really think that that's gonna happen. But I believe that that's gonna happen somewhere near the end of the show. So for now, I believe that she will be safe because the show will go on for at least 3 more seasons, I believe. Then we have Lydia. Lydia is a tough one. In the comics, she survived until the end. And that may very well happen on the show, who knows. However, maybe Carol and Lydia will get coached together, and then Lydia will also die to develop Carol more and more. However, I don't believe that that's gonna happen. Carol has lost enough people already. I don't think that she's gonna lose another child, especially. Maybe someone else, I will talk about it later. But I don't think that she will lose another child close to her. So I believe that Lydia is gonna survive Season 10. Then we have Negan. Negan is a tough one. He survived the comics until the end. And that may also happen on the show, I'm not very sure. I don't think it's gonna happen. Actually, I believe that Negan will die on the show, but I don't think it's gonna happen right now. I believe that Negan will get his death a little bit later on the show, but it will happen, I believe. So I believe that Negan will be safe for now. Then with Eugene. Well, Eugene is very important for the future of the show. So I believe that Eugene is pretty much safe. Then we have Rosita. Rosita is a tough one. I want her to stick around because I really just love her character a lot. However, I don't think that she will stick around that long, and that's mostly because the actress who plays Rosita is gonna be on another show, and that show is gonna be a Netflix original, and that show is gonna be filmed in Los Angeles, and as we know, The Walking Dead will be filmed in Virginia, and I don't think that she can do both. And so Rosita will leave the show in some kind of way, and I believe that she will die. I don't want it to happen, but I have a big feeling that it will. So that's that. Then we have Gabriel. Well, I gotta be honest with you, I don't actually know what they will do with Gabriel. In the comics, he dies during the Whisper War. However, Gabriel is pretty different from the comics to the show. So, maybe he will survive the Whisper War. Who knows? However, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that Gabriel will get his comic book death. I believe that someone else is getting that. But, I do believe that Gabriel will die during season 10. And I don't know exactly when, but it will be a different way than in the comics. Someone else will get Gabriel's death in the comics, and that person is none other than Siddiq. That's right, I believe that Siddiq is definitely gonna die during season 10. And I know that's pretty damn terrible because Carl died to keep Siddiq alive, and so Siddiq dying later eventually just makes Carl's death pointless to some people. But I don't think that Carl's death is pointless after Siddiq dies. Carl didn't die to have Siddiq live. He died to bring a message that there are still good people out there. And so, after Siddiq dies, that doesn't mean that Carl's legacy won't live on. Carl will definitely be remembered for years to come. So, I believe that Siddiq will die and get Gabriel's comic book death. If you don't know exactly how Gabriel died in comics, Gabriel stands on a water tower, and then he falls from the water tower. He gets stuck with his foot on the ladder of the water tower, and then gets his stomach sliced open by Beta, and then Beta leaves him to die, and Gabriel eventually gets devoured by walkers. Then we have Coco, the son of Rosita, and I believe that Coco will be fine. I believe that after all these 3 people have died, that Eugene will be the new guardian of Coco. Then we have Aaron. Aaron is definitely safe. Yeah, I really think it is. I may even think that Aaron will stay alive to the end. Who knows? Then we have his adopted daughter, Gracie. I believe that Gracie is safe too. I don't think that anything is gonna happen to her. Then with Laura, Well, Laura is definitely a gunner. As you saw in my Season 10 pub predictions video, I told you guys that Laura will be killed by Alpha to make an example, and I still believe that's gonna happen. So I believe that Laura will die during this season. Then we have Scott. Well, as I also told you in my Walking Dead Season 10 pub predictions, I thought that Scott was gonna die, and I still believe that that's gonna happen. Then we have Scott's adopted son, Marcus. I believe that Marcus is safe. Yeah, let's say that. I believe that Marcus is safe. Why not? Then we have these two new characters. They will be introduced in Season 10. I told you about them in my previous video, The Walking Dead Season 10 new characters. And in that video I told you guys that I believe that these characters will be not that important to the plot of Season 10. I believe that they will be short-lived. This girl's named Margot. And this guy, we don't even know who this guy is. Maybe we'll find out later, somewhere in a few weeks. But I don't think we're ever gonna know, at least not until The Walking Dead Season 10 will be released on the small screen. So, I believe that these two are both short-lived, they're not really that important. I believe that this guy's gonna die, and that Margot is also gonna die. Then we have Dante. Well, in the comics, Dante sticks around right until the end. He survives. And I believe that that's gonna happen on the show too. So I believe that Dante is safe for now. Then we have Brandon. Well, if you know the comics, then you know that Brandon gets killed by Negan. I believe that Negan will kill Brandon. But not to get Rick's trust, but to get Aaron's trust. And I already told you about this in my Walking Dead pub predictions video of Season 10. And also in my Walking Dead Season 10 new characters. Then we have Heat. We haven't really seen Heat since Season 7, Episode 6. And I'm not really sure if we're ever gonna know what exactly happened to Heat. Maybe he will appear in the Rick Grimes movies, who knows? Or maybe he'll return in Season 10, and then he will turn out to be a Whisperer. Who knows? I believe that Heat will return during the Rick Grimes movies. I don't think that he will return during Season 10. But I do believe that he's still alive. Then we have Barbara. Well, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Barbara has not been important at all on The Walking Dead so far. And so I believe that they're just gonna kill her off. And we may not even notice. Yeah, I believe that that's definitely gonna happen. Then with this girl, Nora, she is part of the Council of Alexandria. And I believe that she could survive. Why not? Then we have this girl, I forgot her name. Oh no, I remember it. It's Alice. She was introduced in The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 15. And I believe that she will be short-lived. I think that she's gonna die during the Whisper War. Then we got this guy, Kurt. He's also part of the Council of Alexandria. And I believe that he will be safe. I'm not really sure why, it's just a feeling. Then we have this kid, Luke. Luke is safe as well. Why not? Then we have Mrs. Barberson. Mrs. Barberson is definitely dead. She's definitely gonna die during Season 10. And that's just because she's not really that important to the plot. She's just a background character. No one really cares about her. So yeah, she is gonna die. Then we have this unnamed savior. Nobody knows who he is. We don't even know his name. And I believe that he's definitely gonna die during this season. Then we have all these saviors whose fate is actually still unknown. We haven't seen them since The Walking Dead season 9, episode 5. And I'm not sure if we're ever gonna know what exactly happened to them. But I believe they're all either dead or gonna die during the Whisper War. Except for maybe Mark. Yeah, I believe that that's gonna happen. I believe that these two girls, I don't even remember their names. I believe that this was Amber, but I totally forgot this girl's name. Don't know it at all. I believe that Mark is still gonna be okay. But I believe that all these other saviors, that they will all die or are already dead. Then we have Hilltop. We got first up Maggie. We don't know if Maggie will actually return during The Walking Dead season 10, but there have been some rumors surrounding the fact that she may return, and I could see that happen. I definitely believe that that's gonna happen. And if she will return, then I believe that she is definitely gonna survive The Walking Dead season 10. As well as her son, Herschel. They're both definitely safe for The Walking Dead season 10 if they will ever actually return. Then with Alden, well, I'm not really sure about Alden. I first thought that he was gonna live for a long time because I thought that he was gonna be the TV version of Dante from the comics, but now it turns out that Dante has come to the show, and so I'm not really sure what's gonna happen to Alden, but I kind of have the feeling that he is gonna live. Yeah, I believe that Alden is safe. Then with Magna, well, I believe that Magna is gonna stick in the show for a long time, so she's definitely safe. Then we have Yumiko. I believe that's the same for Yumiko. Yumiko is definitely safe for now. She may even make it to the end. Then we have Connie. Connie is a tough one. I kind of have the feeling that they're gonna kill her off to develop Daryl, because she's getting really close to Daryl. She may even get in a love relationship with Daryl. Who knows? But it's tough to think whether or not she will survive season 10. Maybe she will die later to develop Daryl a little bit more. But I kind of have the feeling that for now she is safe and may get a relationship with Daryl. Who knows? Then with Kelly. Well, it's rumored that Kelly is gonna die during season 10. And not like I said during the Battle of Hilltop, but in a different way. She will fall off a waterfall and gets devoured by walkers. That's rumored. I believe that Kelly will die in that way. So yeah, and that's all to develop Connie a little bit more. Then we have Luke. Well, as I said in my previous video, Luke is getting a relationship with new character Jules, who I will talk about a little bit more later. And I believe that they're gonna kill off Luke to develop Jules a little bit more. So yeah, I believe that that's gonna happen. Then we have Ezekiel. And eventually after that, I believe that Ezekiel will die. Maybe even get killed by Alpha or Gamma or another Whisper. Or maybe even Beta. And that's all to develop Carol even more. So yeah. Ezekiel is definitely dead. They have Jerry. I believe Jerry's gonna be safe. I think that Jerry will stick around for a long time. Then we have his family. I'm not really sure about them. I believe that Nabila is actually gonna die. Maybe she will get devoured by walkers during the Exantia battle. And then we have Jerry's kids. I'm not really sure about them. I believe that his son is safe. But I kind of have the feeling that both his daughters will die. This is all to develop Jerry a little bit more. Jerry's gonna lose a lot of people close to him. He's gonna lose Ezekiel, his wife, and his 2 daughters. And he still has his son, of course. But other than that, he is not really someone that's that close to him. So he's gonna lose a lot of people during this season. And that's pretty sad. But all to develop him even more and to have him stick around for even longer. Then we have Diane. I believe that Diane is gonna die as well. She will be another casualty of The Walking Dead. Then we have this guy, we haven't really seen him for a while. I believe his name is Eduardo. Yeah, that's right, Eduardo. But it's confirmed that he's still alive, even though we haven't seen him for a while. And I believe that he is gonna survive The Walking Dead Season 10. Then with Earl. In the comics, Earl sticks around until the end of The Walking Dead. And I believe that that's gonna happen on the show too. We got Adam, the Whisper Baby. I'm not really sure about this. Adam is not in the comics, so I don't know what's gonna happen to him. But I believe that he is safe. Yeah, let's say that he's safe. Then we have Gage. Gage is yeah, Gage is safe. Gage is definitely safe. And why do I think that? Well, because I have a big feeling that Gage and Lydia will get close to each other and may even get a relationship and fall in love. And then Gage will take over the call storylines from the comics. And some of you probably don't believe me because why would we get another call guy just to kill him off later again, just like Henry? No, that's not gonna happen, you guys. This is the final call, dudes. Then we have Marco. I believe that Marco is gonna live. Why not? He's definitely safe. Then we have Oscar. Oscar is dead. Yeah, he's just a background character. No one really cares about him, so that's it. Then we have Cal. I believe that Cal is gonna die as well. Then we have Bertie. I think that she is gonna be a victim of the Whispers as well. Then we have this dude. I'm not really sure what his name was. I believe it was Kevin. He's a Kindlemer. But I kind of have a feeling that he's gonna die anyway. Then we have this savior who now lives in Hilltop. He's a good guy. He's named Quinn. Now I believe that Quinn is also dead. He's definitely gonna die during season 10. As well as all these other characters. These two remain nameless. We don't know their names. But they're both from Hilltop. And then we have this girl. She's from the Kingdom. And I believe that she's gonna die too. Then we have Oathside. Well, as I told you in the Walking Dead Season 10 pop predictions video of my channel, I told you guys that Oathside is gonna fall during the Walking Dead Season 10. And I still believe that that's gonna happen. I am sure that Oathside will lose some people during that fall. That's right. Cindy will survive during this. And both Rachel and Beatrice will die. And then we have new character Jules of Oathside, who I just told you is getting a relationship with Luke. And Luke is gonna die to develop her character more and more. And I believe that Jules is gonna stick around for a long time. I believe that both Cindy and Jules are actually the only characters that make it out of the fall of Oathside. Maybe some background Oathsiders, but I believe that both Rachel and Beatrice won't survive. Then we get the Whispers. Alpha. Alpha is definitely dead because Whisper storyline will end after The Walking Dead Season 10. The Walking Dead Season 10 will only be the setup of the Whispers and the Whisper War. And so I believe that all the Whispers will die, just like in the comics. Some of them eventually surrendered and became part of the communities, and maybe that will happen on the show, who knows. But I believe that their leaders, Alpha and Beta, will both die. And this new character, Gamma, is pretty close to Alpha. She is kind of her second right hand man, or actually woman. And so I believe that she is very loyal to Alpha, and so she wouldn't surrender herself and become a part of Alexandria or Hilltop or the Oathside or the Kingdom if they will be rebuilt. So that's that. I believe that Gamma will die too. Then finally we have a new character, Virgil. Virgil is definitely safe. I believe that he is gonna leave on a boat with Michonne to fight his family. So those were my death predictions for The Walking Dead Season 10. I hope you enjoyed. Down comments below who you believe is gonna die, who you think is gonna live, who do you think is gonna leave the show with his fate unknown. We don't know. We'll find out when the Season 10 will be released. But tell me in the comments below what you think will happen. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and see you guys next time.